Hi, and welcome to a new year. We've been here for a little while already, but I still want to make a end of the year wrap up for 2016. So here we are. I'm going to start listing my top 10 books of 2016 in no particular order, plus a few honorable mentions at the end. Because I didn't want to do more than 10, because if I'm going to do more than 10, then I might as well just tell you every single book that I read. So technically it's 10, but technically it's more than 10. It's a list, and there's a certain number. I really could have arranged these so that my favorite one was the first, and my least favorite of the favorites was the 10th, but I didn't do that, so that's not very smart. Actually, I think I can say that I like all of these equally, so it doesn't even matter. Why am I even going from 10th to 1st if there's no important build-up? I'm questioning my life philosophy. How about this? I'll just go through the list normally. That's a smart idea. I'll do that. So I have this fun list thing, not list, but it's like a collage or a collection or a gallery even, of the covers of books that I read, like little tiny ones that I print out and just kind of hang them up so that I can see the progress that I made, because I really love seeing my progress and things. So I'll be going through my list and showing you the little tiny versions of the books. So my first favorite book was The Great Gatsby, and I totally forgot to just grab the little thing. This is its tiny book persona. Here's a close-up look if you're just dying to see how cute it is, because it is cute. Can't argue with that. I was excited to read The Great Gatsby because it's a classic and because I don't know, I just heard it was good and such. Little did I know that it would become an obsession. I should put this on my head or something. No, that's kind of distracting. I'm gonna set it right here. Beautiful. I loved The Great Gatsby. When I read it, I immediately fell in love with the writing. It's a book about people and why people do what they do. Those are my favorite kinds of books, but it's even more awesome because the way that the author sees the world is kind of the way that I see the world. The things he says are the things that I've thought about, but I've never known exactly how to say. It's a classic for a reason. It's a great book, and I recommend. My second one of my most favorite books of 2016 was Come here, it's so far away. The next book that I loved so much was Red Rising by Pierce Brown, but also Golden Sun and also Morning Star. I read this whole series this year. These books are crazy good. They're adult sci-fi fantasy books, so they're on the more adult side with language and content, but they're epic. I decided that I want to reread these so bad. Also, a fun thing that happened this year, I got to meet Pierce Brown. And you know what's funny? I was looking back on my Goodreads and I gave this one 3 stars, this one 4 stars, and this one 5 stars, so clearly they only get better as they go. So this one-ish book was a favorite. Good book. Let's carry on. My third most favorite book was Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. This is a children's book, and it's a movie that I've loved ever since it came out. It's about this girl who's has a really strict family, and she's kept in her house or in her yard all the time, but then one day she's like, I'm sick of this, so she wants to escape, and she finds these people who live in the woods, and turns out they can live forever. It's like a crazy vampire Twilight sort of thing, only not at all. So that book has lovely memories associated with it. 3 of my favorite books this year were children's books. I'm so glad I started counting children's books as books, because I was trying to read 300-page novels for each book that I was counting towards my goal, but children's books are just as fun and so much more easy and not as time-consuming. My 4th most favorite book was Cress, which that was really loud. It was Cress, which is the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I think I read almost the entire Lunar Chronicles this year. This book was my favorite just because of the storyline. It was just my favorite out of all the books. And I got to meet Marissa Meyer this last year, so that was fun. She signed this copy. I should really tear this down just so that you can see it, not because I don't want it on my wall. I like it there. I need to find better words to use to describe my intentions. Press is going up here. I'm gonna grab this. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna insert a video clip over it right now. Wow, this is it! So good! Look at how it is signed. It's actually just a printed out copy of the cover that I had her sign because I didn't own any of the books, and I still don't, so that's fun. On to the next. My fifth most favorite book was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. This year I realized that Roald Dahl is the author of all of my favorite things. Let me bring up another one of my favorite books this year, just because we're on the subject. Fantastic Mr. Fox. So Charlie and the Chocolate Factory I talk about all the time because it's just a wacky piece of wonderful art. So I love that, and the book was just as excellent as the movie, if not better. And Fantastic Mr. Fox is my favorite movie of all time, and so when I found out that this guy wrote this too, it was a happy day indeed. And now I'm on a mission to read every book that Roald Dahl has ever written. I also read the BFG that year, and though it is not on my top 10 favorites, it was also quite fun. So here's number 5 and here's number 6. My 7th book is The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. I loved this book so much. Also a classic. This year I became so crazy about this particular story because I watched the Disney movie for the first time and I listened to an off-Broadway musical version of it, which I still listen to all the time, and it's been many months at this point. So I was like, okay, now I have to read the book. There's a lot of humor, which I was not expecting, but it was great. If you want to know about like architecture and why it's dying art, you might not expect this book to be an excellent source, but guess what? There are many chapters dedicated to that specific topic. So that's fun. So this was excellent as well. Book number 8 is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. This book was way too good. I saw the movie when it came out earlier last year and I did not know there was a book. But then there was a book and then I had to read it, so then I read it and now I love it. And I really love it because it is literally just Pride and Prejudice, but with zombies just placed here and there within the story, and there's nothing better than that. 5 stars, maybe even 6. I did not expect to love the 9th book so much, but it was The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and I've seen the movie, but it was so long ago. I think I was only like 12, but I remembered that I thought it was like funny and cute and stuff. So I read the book, and this was an emotional roller coaster. I think I cried. This is one that I'm definitely gonna reread at some point. I was so surprised because I got to the end of it and I was like, 5 stars! Very good book. Very much recommend. Very much now it's time to look at the next book. If you've seen my last video, there will be no question in your mind whether I am going to include this one. Illuminae! What a crazy experience. I would totally go back and do it again. So I have an entire video dedicated to this book. I was not expecting to love this book as much as I did. Not at all. Because so many people liked it that I figured that everyone was just kind of like, yeah, I like it too, yay. But no. Illuminae is like a crazy sci-fi adventure story. You're gonna get so roped in, and it's just good stuff. 5 stars here. So Illuminae was number 10, which concludes my official top 10 list. But now it's time to move on to the honorable mentions. My first honorable mention will be the first book I read last year, Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. My friend Tiana always raves about Agatha Christie, and so she made me borrow one of her books. I was like in awe. It's such a complex story, but you don't even realize it until you get to the end and you're like, wait a second, I've been played. So this was excellent. Reminded me how much I love mystery and murder. Another honorable mention would be New Moon, which is the second book in the Twilight series. I'm having so much fun reading Twilight. I've only read the first 2 books, and it's been a really long time since I read this, so I need to read the next one soon. It's great because they're such serious books about topics that you just can't take seriously. So they're really fun to read. I even did a live reenactment of this one as an earlier video last year. And my final honorable mention is going to be Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I read it because I heard there was a movie coming out, and so I was just like, alright, let's get on that train. And then there ended up being like so much controversy around it. To me, it was just a really sad story about the choices that people make sometimes. There was also a lot of funny moments that made me, happy a little bit but also it's sad. But yeah, that was another book where like I finished it and I was like, 5 stars. Just give it 5 stars. I don't know about you guys, but I rate my books mainly on impulse, like how I'm feeling right when I finish it. I'm like, do I feel like that was a 4-star book? No, I feel more like a 3.5 today. I should really look into getting a more accurate rating system. Out of all the books I read last year, those were my absolute favorite. They were almost all 5 stars, except for like Red Rising. I don't know why I gave it a 3 at first. I was like, this is good, but it's not like amazing. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, that book was excellent. If you're interested in seeing all the books that I read this year, my Goodreads will be linked in the description. And I've also done videos for most of the books that I mentioned because I only do book talks for the ones that I really love. I'll link all of those below as well. So in conclusion, 2016 was an excellent year for books. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned, please let me know and let me know what you thought of them. And if you haven't, let me know your top 3 favorite books that you read in 2016. Don't forget to like if that reflects your feelings about the video, and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Thanks very much for watching, and I can't wait for you to come back, because I'm just going to be right here waiting. I hope you have an awesome day. That's pretty much all I wish. Hope this video did something for your lives.